Now, if Graham Laurie knew Charles well, my next guest knew him even better. Kathy Lette, the author, biographer and host. You're doing a whole bunch of stuff this weekend.
Am I?
Yeah.
Minestrone of talent.
Yeah, Minestrone of talent, yeah. So how long have you known Charles for?
Look, I met him about 30-something years ago when I first came here.
So Graham Laurie, you've known him for 20 years, so you've known him more than 20 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Prime Minister, we've got to race against time, but the Prime Minister has said that he's reiterated his plans to have Charles come out to Australia, whenever that's going to be. You know Charles well. Have you got any idea of when that's going to be?
No, but I hope he's going, because I've got him as a prezi for the coronation. I've got him some budgie smugglers with KC embossed on the front. So I want to see him parading those along Bondi Beach, don't you?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because he spent so much time in Australia. He knows Bondi well.
He does.
What sort of a reception would you expect that he would get next time? Because in the paper today there had been some concern, or he was overheard saying that, or he had concerns about what sort of reception that he would get, how he would be received.
Well, it's an interesting question because, you know, 1 in 3 Australians is born overseas. So what allegiance do they have to a corgi-loving, corgis, note that, you know, castle-encrusted royal family 12,000 miles away? And we are a human minestrone, the most multicultural nation in the world. If you talk to most young Australians about the king, they think you're talking about Elvis Presley. But there is one area in which he might connect with boomers and zoomers, is his environmental concerns. And he's been a passionate advocate for our planet long before it was fashionable. And what I like about him, and I'm a Republican, I hasten to add, for Australia, but what I like about him is that he's so candid. For most English people, especially the upper class, you have to do open heart surgery to know what's going on inside them. But he's very passionate and he's very open about his passions, and I like that about him.
So when he says, though, it shares a concern about whether he'd be welcome or not, is he serious there, or is he?
Well, yes, well, he's quite self-deprecating. For example, Billy Connolly told me this great story. He used to have a castle up in Scotland, not far from Balmoral, and he was having dinner one night with Robin Williams and all these fabulous comedians, Steve Martin and Eric Idle and stuff, and Prince Charles, then Prince Charles, was having dinner with them. And the boys were teasing Billy about his socialist beliefs when he lives in this big castle. And Billy said, "Come the revolution, we'll all live in a castle like this." To which Prince Charles said quietly, "I won't." And Billy said it was the best wee joke of the evening. And in that company, that's really saying something.
That's awesome. Hey, we can hear the march going on. Are you excited about this weekend?
Well, look, we're watching history's tapestry being sewn, and that's quite fascinating, and the pageantry and all of that. Yeah. So I'll be here wearing my tiara. Definitely.
So I don't know if you can pick it up, folks. You might be able to on our microphone. So this is what has to go on. This is whenever there's a big event in town. Whether we saw this with the Queen so many times, because the streets are so busy during the day, they've got to practice at night time when there's no. When there's not as much traffic, so we can hear them in the background. And our Australian marchers, as a matter of fact, will be coming on a little bit later on to walk up and down the Mall to get ready. So everything has to be so precise this weekend. I mean, this is, whether you like Charles or not, this is a big moment of history this weekend, and Camilla too.
Yes. Well, the best thing, the best testament to Charles's character is the Queen. I mean, his consort. I mean, Camilla I've known a long time, and I know her better. I first met her through John Mortimer, the writer, and then we became friends with various feminist charities we're involved in. And she is so earthy, she's so witty, she's so warm, she's so wise. She's also very self-deprecating. I mean, let me give you an example. When I first met her, I said, "Oh, how are you going, you know, in the myopic gaze of the media? Is it driving you mad?" And she said, the funniest thing is American women kept sending her secretly their cosmetic surgeon's cards because they couldn't believe she'd go out with wrinkles, you know. And all that did was give her more laughter lines. And if you read between those lines, that's what you'll see, warmth and wit. And for example, she could have put me in the Tower many times or boomeranged me back to Botany Bay. Because once I was going into Clarence House and I'd hurt my leg jogging, so I had I was on a stick. And when she said, "Oh, Kath, what's happened?" I thought it was too boring to say that. So I said, "Oh, well, I fell off my toy boy." You know, and I could see her flunkies, the nostril-flared flunkies, were like, "You can't talk to the future Queen like that." And she just threw her head back and kind of cackled with laughter.
Now, are you going to the ceremony? You're reporting this weekend?
I'm reporting here. I'll be here, but
with
I'm going...
colleagues, our Sky colleagues, there you go.
That's correct, I will be. But I'm practising the royal wave. But the Queen did ask me to the concert the next day. So, yes, and I will be wearing my tiara to that.
Kathy Lette, always good to talk. talk to you. Thank you so much for your time. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great week and a great weekend.